Hey there! A short introduction for those of you who are new here. My name is Wen Yi, or you may know me as Wen. Welcome and thank you so much for joining me on this journey where you wouldn't have to face adulting or feel alone again. It's June, and before I begin, I just want to say for this month's journey, we will be straying away from our usual personal branding tips and tricks and go more into self-worth and self-care. So with that said, in today's journey, we'll be heading to self-awareness. It's super important. You've probably heard this enough times, but I just want to keep repeating it because it is super important, and I want you to know the importance of having self-awareness. Because having self-awareness is like going through a tunnel with a torchlight, and that really brightens up your pathway and you know exactly where you are going. So self-awareness acts like that, and it really helps you to know yourself better and to know what steps you have to take to get to your goal. So that is self-awareness. It's super important. That's why I keep repeating self-awareness. Some people think that they have self-awareness and they find themselves repeating the same thing over and over again, and nothing improves, or rather it just gets worse, and they start to blame everyone around them and start to ask why. So the reason is that you think you have self-awareness but you don't. So when you start being delusional, you shut down every feedback that people give you, be it negative or positive, or worse, you just take in the positive and neglect the negative. And that is when you really stop learning and stop growing as a person. That is why it kind of hinders your progress. So if you are someone who thinks that you have self-awareness, and right now you might probably be thinking, nah, you're not talking about me, like I totally get myself, I have really good self-awareness and stuff like that. I'm probably talking about you, because really if you find yourself just staying at place one and not moving and getting closer to your goals, you are probably not taking in feedbacks or are more willing to take in feedbacks from the rest. So think about it before you start saying that you have self-awareness, because having self-awareness, you wouldn't need to say it or justify yourself. You would know it like naturally. So yeah, there is no way that can teach you about self-awareness. It comes when you start to see and look at how people do things, especially people who you really look up to, and that is when you start to really reflect on yourself and change the things that you've been doing. So that is having self-awareness, and that's something that I can't teach, but it's more of how you have to really handle it yourself and teach yourself. One thing that I do is to keep asking myself questions, important questions like, will this help me in the future? How will this help me in the future? How can I better understand this whole situation? How can I better face this situation and stuff like that? Questions like these do really help you to think and really analyze what you are doing and stand from a third person's perspective to view that whole situation. Another thing I like to do is to really have someone that I look up to, and let's just say situation A. So if both of us were to come across this situation, the same situation, what would that mentor of mine do and what would I do? So it kind of like cross-check with that person that you look up to and really just know exactly how you are as a person and what you have to change to get closer to your dreams. Whatever I say boils down to self-reflection. Yes, self-reflection again, because it's so important. Self-awareness and self-reflection is together, because you have to self-reflect to be self-aware. To me at least, I would actually have few days that I sit down and think about what has happened for the past few weeks and what I've done right or what I've done wrong to me, and really learn from it. Start writing down things that I have to change over time and give myself a duration to change, and make sure that I do follow up on like my actions. What you are looking for is not out there, but it's in you. Dig deep enough and persist, and your answers would surface. As usual, please do join me on this journey by liking and subscribing, and also do turn on the notification bell down below as I post videos every Thursdays and Fridays. Before I leave, please remember, don't live a life regretting the things you didn't do. Go out there, do stuff, and one day we will succeed together. Bye!